One of the best storylines of the 2017 NBA season was the rise of Isaiah Thomas, who averaged 28.9 points per game and led his team to their first seed in the East and the Eastern Conference Finals. However, the Celtics in this offseason should seriously consider trading Isaiah Thomas, and here's why it actually might happen. Now, before I tell you why the Celtics should trade him, I'll preface it all by saying that Isaiah Thomas is simply one of the best stars we have in today's league. No question, no doubt. He has earned every right to be an all-star and all-NBA type player, and as you see in a minute, most of the reasons why the Celtics should trade him don't even have anything to do with him personally. Now, without further ado, here are the top 4 reasons why Isaiah Thomas should be traded. Number 1, financial limits. Isaiah Thomas will be a free agent in 2018 after his contract expires, at which point he'll be expecting a max contract of roughly $35 million per year. Now, forget the question of whether or not you actually want to pay a 30-year-old point guard $35 million per year for 5 years. The Celtics have other issues to worry about as well. Both Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder are going to be free agents in 2018 as well, and both of them are set to make a lot more money than they are right now. Both players are glue guys that have been instrumental to the Celtics' success on both ends of the floor, and especially someone like Avery Bradley, who has easily been their best defensive player these past couple years and has also arguably been their second best offensive player this year. You would expect that the Celtics will do everything they can to try to keep those two guys. Marcus Smart will be a free agent as well, and from everything we hear from the Celtics, it sounds like they really like him as a player, and so he's probably going to re-sign with the Celtics as well. And don't forget that Al Horford is roughly making $28 million per year. And amongst all these players that the Celtics are going to have to try to keep, we haven't even taken into the consideration of them adding another star to their mix, which brings us to reason number 2, other stars available. During the season, there were many rumors that the Celtics were going to trade for either Jimmy Butler or Paul George. And despite the reports coming out that neither of these trades were really close, what is close is the Celtics getting a guy like Gordon Hayward in this year's offseason. Now, say Gordon Hayward chooses to sign with the Celtics, he would sign for roughly $31 million per year for 4 years. And he would be able to replace a lot of the scoring duties that Isaiah Thomas has, especially in crunch time. Gordon Hayward is also younger and a more well-rounded player, and you would expect him to only get better from this point onwards. And then you can factor in the amount of young talent that the Celtics already have. It's almost a guarantee that one of Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, and whoever they draft with this year's #1 pick is going to eventually be an all-star caliber player, if not a superstar caliber player. So the question begs, do the Celtics really need Isaiah Thomas's scoring that much in the future? This brings us to point number 3. Reason number 3, Markelle Fultz / Lonzo Ball. It's pretty safe to say that the Celtics are going to take either Markelle Fultz or Lonzo Ball with this year's first pick in the draft. And although there's never a guarantee with a rookie or a draft prospect, you would expect that the Celtics' strategy moving forward will be based off of the expectation that either Fultz or Lonzo Ball will turn into an all-star caliber player. If you trade away Isaiah Thomas, you would get a lot more playing time for either Markelle Fultz or Lonzo Ball at the point guard position, which is very important for the development of a young prospect. On the flip side, if you don't trade away Isaiah Thomas, you could seriously hinder the progress of either one of them becoming the eventual superstar that you expect them to become. Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball would obviously be the point guard of your team's future, and with the amount of talent that they already have, and with their young players getting better and better progressively, the Celtics don't exactly need to be in win-now mode with an aging Isaiah Thomas. And this brings us to our last reason. Number 4. You can't win a championship with Isaiah Thomas as your best player. This is a very tough topic to discuss because there's no really definitive rubric. It's been well documented that Isaiah Thomas is one of the worst defenders in the league, not because he doesn't try or anything, but simply because he's just too small to guard a lot of other guards in today's NBA. One of the biggest reasons why Washington was able to push Boston to 7 games and made it a very competitive series is because they were able to exploit Isaiah Thomas's defensive weakness and basically post them up with Wall, Beal, Porter, whoever Isaiah Thomas was guarding. And so because of that very fact alone, there's no question that if you have Isaiah Thomas on your team, especially as the superstar player, it puts a serious cap on how good your defense can be. Basically, the potential of your team as a defensive unit. One could also point to the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers have dominated the last 3 playoffs, and especially the Boston Celtics, With Isaiah Thomas on your team, putting a serious defensive cap as to how good you can be, one could argue that you simply need a better overall defense to stop LeBron. So then we can also think about the macro perspective. Although Isaiah Thomas has proven himself to be a relatively consistent scoring option, there's still a lot of doubts as to whether or not he is that guy. That superstar that can lead a team to the championship. Just look at the best players from each championship team of this past decade. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, Dwayne Wade. Is Isaiah Thomas on their level? That's the question that the Celtics have to answer, and it's not exactly an easy yes. Alright, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here on this channel, make sure to subscribe for more NBA videos coming out this summer. So don't miss out. Other than that, I got nothing more to add. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one.
Feeling kinda strange, feeling kinda off. Don't know what's really going on. I feel like something's up and I can only guess the cause. It doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where. Always hits me when I'm unprepared.